Sooner Scoop HD.
I've adapted really well, adjusted really well, so I've had a lot of fun this past month so far.
Been here with Peyton, just what's that been like having someone you know a little bit throughout this transitional process?
Yeah, I definitely attribute part of that adaptability for me here, getting comfortable here, having a familiar face around me at all times, just kind of, maybe something goes wrong with school or something makes me uncomfortable, come back to my dorm and seeing somebody that I already know and have already had a connection with before is just really helpful.
Jackson, you were committed to OU for a long time, and you came down here a lot. Did that prepare you at all for actually being here and going through this?
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely helped with getting around the campus for sure. Just knowing where classes are and where the academic center is and stuff like that. It's super helpful. And just being around all these coaches already, coming here was just. It felt like another visit, almost, in a way. I've been around these coaches so much. I've gotten so close to them and so comfortable with them. It felt natural being here.
How much are you into the offense already? How difficult or just how is the assimilation into this offense going?
Yeah, I'm a decent amount into it. We're taking it slow. We got a month till spring ball, a month and a half. So been adjusting really well. It's difficult. It is. It's a hard offense. It's very heavy front. So I'm learning a lot of stuff, up front that maybe some offenses won't be as heavy. But I've been doing really good with it so far, and I've really enjoyed it. And I think part of the reason I've done so well learning the offense because I've played in a system like this before. It's kind of helped things click in a way with this offense.
Did you have a relationship with Dylan at all before you got here, even through the recruiting process? I'm just kind of curious, how that relationship has gone between you two and getting to know him. Was it even maybe easier than you thought it would be, just meeting him and getting along with him?
Yeah, I've started a relationship with Dylan back almost like during spring ball, or when he first got here, actually. The first day Dylan arrived on campus as a transfer. I was here the first day, when all the mid-years last year were moving in. I came up here on my first visit, and the day I almost committed. But yeah, I met Dylan back then. We kept that relationship going strong, and he was my host for my official visit, so I got to connect with him more there. And just coming up for all those game days and just getting to talk with him in the whole QB room, things have clicked really well so far. I've become friends with everyone in that group. All five of us in the QE room, and it's been really good so far. They've been very welcoming, and I'm really grateful of kind of being accepted into this quarterback room.
Does it feel like a pretty tight-knit wide receiver room? I mean, a lot of those guys have been here. Marvin's about the only one that's gone, and Braden too, but can you feel how experienced they are together?
Yeah, definitely. Even when we run routes on the air and stuff like that, the way they communicate with each other, you can tell that they've bonded very well over this past year, and you can tell that they're going to get even closer this upcoming year, and they're going to all click very well and complement each other's game.
Oh, that's over there. Jeez.
You really exploded at the Elite 11 camp when you won that competition. You were already a pretty highly regarded guy, but when you won that competition, how did everything take off for you? And talk about that competition too, because it looked like you went into that like game day. You really were good at that competition.
Yeah, the Elite 11 is always something I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. Back watching Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. That was like the first one I watched on YouTube, and just kind of seeing them go out and compete. I knew it was something I wanted to do. So worked hard, prepared really well for it. When my time came, I shined, did what I could, did my best, and I'm thankful that it was good enough for the coaches too. But no, it was a great experience. I enjoyed my time, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
How much did everything from just everybody knowing who Jackson Arnold was at that time, how much did that just take off?
I don't really pay attention to stuff like that, I was just grateful that I was invited, to be honest. I'm not one that's going to brag about what I have or what I've accomplished. I just let my play on the field dictate that, but super prestigious honor, and I'm very grateful that I won the camp.
Was that your first, because you had all the elite quarterbacks, that were there, and you're one of them. It's not a game, but it is a game. The competition was definitely pretty steep for you guys.
Yeah, it was a steep competition. This quarterback class is loaded. Really impressed by guys like Dante Moore, Malachi Nelson, Jaden Rashard just throwing the ball. You could tell this quarterback class is stacked. You could tell that these guys are going to be playing on Sunday someday. So, I think nothing in the world, but for those guys that were at the camp, you know, they're straight ballers, to put it simple. I mean, they're going to have great college careers and great NFL careers one day.
Jackson, General brings a wonderful last name to the table. Dylan has a tremendous deep ball. What do you think you bring to the table?
I'm going to say speed, Danny. Bring a little bit of that the run game aspect to it.
I love to hear that. Thank you so much, Jackson.
Thank you, Danny.
It's pretty good when your starting linebacker wants to come over and talk to you, right?
It is pretty good.
You want to be nice to him? I guess they will hit you too hard.
Yeah, of course.
Talk a little bit about Dylan just off the field when you were going through that whole process, but what's it been like now that you're actually here, just having someone that's so familiar with obviously this offense and this program being a year in that you can kind of rely on and work with?
Yeah, it helps a lot, especially with learning the offense. Any question I have or anything I'm curious about inside the offense, I ask Dylan, I ask Davis, I ask General, I ask all of them. But with Dylan being in the system for 4 or 5 years already, just kind of going to him when I have questions or something I'm struggling with, he has the quickest answer ever. Just can help me out immediately and get me on the right track.
What's been the biggest difference from knowing Coach Levy during your recruiting process to now actually being inside the program, if at any?
You know what's funny, and it's something I'm extremely grateful for, is nothing's changed. I think that's huge when picking a school too. I want to pick genuine coaches that are going to pour into me as I'm going to pour into them, and you don't want coaches that are going to recruit you a certain way, and when you show up on campus, they're going to act a completely different way. And that's not happened so far with any of the coaches, so I'm super grateful for that.
What's been your, I guess, biggest welcome to college moment? Maybe you're, I don't know, late to a class or whatever it's been.
It was actually this Tuesday. We did coaching stations for the first time, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, by far. I mean, you're just going station to station to station to station, no breaks and no breaks. It was brutal, but I mean, I texted my dad after. I'm like, yeah, my dad played college football at Wofford in the 90s. I texted, I'm like, man, that was the hardest thing I've ever done. He just said, welcome to college.
What was the toughest part of it?
I would say just not really having breaks in between. I mean, you're just going back to back to back to back, just stressing your body and straining. And, you know, it's really good for you. It's a really good exercise, and it gets your body in shape really well. But it's tough, man. For just being in high school just a couple months ago, it's tough. But it's good work, though.
You talked about Dylan and being able to ask him about the offense. What's been the biggest adjustment for you as you move from the offense you were in at Guyer to what you're running now?
Biggest adjustments to the terminology. Obviously, our play names aren't the same as Coach Levy's play names and signals, etc. And just the biggest emphasis they've had so far is us talking the same language when we're speaking about plays. So, you know, whether it's how we talk about defenses or how we talk about, you know, certain field positions, stuff like that, just speaking the same language has been crucial for me in learning the offense.
How far along do you feel like you are when it comes to getting all that terminology down?
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing pretty well. It's a lot. I don't even know how much we've gotten through so far. I mean, I feel like we've covered a good amount. But I've been studying every night, been doing my best, and been doing pretty good in media. So,
Jackson, Coach Venables just talked to us, and he's talked since the season about the transition within this program and what you guys have to do to get it forward. He wants to win now and things. What kind of sense of urgency do you, as players, newcomers coming into this program, especially you at quarterback, have about this program moving forward?
I'm super excited for the future. I think for us coming in, it's just competing. You know, Coach Venables talked to us this morning, and, you know, he said, I forgot who he called out, but he's just talking to people and just tell them don't lay over. You know, go take what's yours, go take that spot. And for me, Dylan's going to be the guy, and I understand that, but I still want to compete and get myself better every day so I can prepare for the future.
Thank you, Jackson.
What's this like for you? I mean, I know you went to a big program, but you come into this now and like 500 cameras around you. Is this really like intimidating, or is this cool for you?
No, it's pretty cool. The only other time this happened was the South Lake game, and I have a picture of it. I had like 10 different cameras around me. It was a really cool experience, and I actually like talking to media and reporting stuff like that, so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. What's it like having Peyton here? I know that was kind of a crazy process through the last couple of days, but how great is it having him here?
It's awesome. It's nice having a familiar face and someone that, you know, that you've previously known, just in case things get tough here, or, maybe some people don't want to hang out, or people aren't trying to go out, and you have a friend that you've always known that'll just be there for you. So.
What was that? You might have been asked this already before I walked up, and I apologize, but what was that 24 hours like between when he announced that he was going to Oregon to when things became official here?
Yeah, it was wild. Honestly, I knew just as much as y'all did. Like, I didn't know anything. I thought all along Peyton was coming to OU, and I would tell people that, I always thought Peyton would end up at OU. Just the only thing I said is Peyton has got to choose to end up at OU, and ultimately he did, but it was 24 hours. I didn't know anything more than y'all did, and I knew, like when I knew was the night before he posted it, so the day of signing day. It's like 12 o'clock at night, I'm talking to him, and he just kind of regretted his decision, and so I decided to flip, and I was super excited for him.
Were you talking about that, or were you trying to avoid it and not pressure him, or what was that conversation like?
I knew he was struggling throughout the day with his decision, so I made sure to call him and just walk him through it and talk him through it and just see what he was thinking and stuff like that. So just kind of walking him through it, making sure he's making the best decision for him.
And how long have y'all known each other, and what was that relationship like? When you first met up.
Yeah, Geyer has two different middle schools that feed into it, Harpole and Crownover. I went to Harpole, he went to Crownover. So I knew of Peyton like 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, but I never
played against each other?
We played against each other, yes sir. So I knew he was as a player, not as a person. Then freshman year, two middle schools combined, and I'm playing with him freshman year, and just kept on building that relationship throughout my senior year.
Sooner Scoop HD.